And now for our next news special report.
In this special report, we're tackling a crisis that's hitting home for every American. Imagine a nation where you need a key to access basic necessities like toothpaste, deodorant, and even toilet paper. That's not a dystopian future, it's today's America. Retail theft has not just doubled, it's wreaked havoc, escalating to levels that we have never seen before. From Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., the theft epidemic is transforming how we shop. But the real question looms. Why are we locking up products instead of the criminals? This isn't about lost profits or inconvenienced shoppers. It's a signal of deep societal decay. And tonight we dive deep into this unsettling trend. Why is this happening? And what does it mean for you and your family? You don't want to miss our final thought on this because it's about more than just theft. It's about the soul of our republic. Now, before we dive any deeper, let's talk about preparation in times of uncertainty, like the crime crisis we're discussing tonight. Being prepared is key. And our sponsors at My Patriot Supply understand this. They're not just supporting our broadcast, they're equipping you for these unpredictable times. Their 3-month food kit is a testament to preparedness, offering balanced meals that last up to 25 years. Believe me, I'm stocked up. So think of it as securing your pantry against the unpredictability that we're facing, especially in Joe Biden's America. When you support them at preparewithgary.com, you're not just stocking up for emergencies, you're backing the uncompromised truth that we bring you every day. Secure your peace of mind with My Patriot Supply and continue to empower our mission by visiting preparewithgary.com. Now, in a country priding itself on freedom and abundance, it's a jarring sight. Rows of everyday items from deodorant to toothpaste locked behind glass panels. This is not a scene from a dystopian novel. It is a snapshot of today's America, a nation grappling with an unprecedented crime wave. Retail theft, a term once reserved for occasional shoplifters, has morphed into a full-blown epidemic, shaking the core of our republic. Now, let's start with Los Angeles, where the numbers speak volumes. Retail theft, you ready for this? Skyrocketed by 109% in just the first 6 months of this year. The staggering statistic isn't an anomaly. It's a sign of a nation under siege. Stores, big and small, resorting to locking up products. A move once thought extreme is now a necessity. And this crisis isn't just about the theft of goods. It's a reflection of a larger problem, a societal breakdown. Our streets are swarming with predators, emboldened by lenient law enforcement and a judicial system that seems more focused on the rights of criminals than the safety of law-abiding citizens. We have more people locked up than any other country, yet our streets remain a playground for lawlessness. The CEO of Target, Brian Cornell, in a recent CNBC interview, painted a picture of gratitude from customers for locking up essentials. It's a sad state of affairs when shoppers express relief at seeing basic items secured behind glass, a measure ensuring that they remain in stock. But this isn't about customer service. It's about survival in a retail landscape that's being ravaged by theft. And it's not just high-end luxury goods, electronics. Well, they are all targets. We're talking about basic necessities. CVS, in our nation's capital, is a prime example. Forced to lock away toilet paper and paper towels and instead display photographs of items on the shelves. Imagine needing to buzz a clerk to buy Charmin or Bounty. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a stark reminder of how far we have fallen. Look at that, a picture of toilet paper on the shelves. The capital of the most powerful nation on earth now mirrors a third world country in its approach to selling basic goods. This is not hyperbole. It's the reality we live in, a reality where every product, no matter how small, is at risk of being stolen. But it's not just the stores. The criminals are getting bolder, targeting delivery trucks. In a brazen act, thieves in the Washington, D.C. area hijacked an entire UPS delivery truck in broad daylight. This level of audacity is actually unprecedented. We're witnessing a new era of crime, one where not even a delivery truck is safe. Let's take a look at this Fox 5 News report.
Welcome back. An armed carjacking of a UPS truck in Prince George's County was caught on camera.
And we want to get right over to Fox 5's Jacqueline Matter, who's in Glen Arden tonight with the very latest. Jacqueline?
Guys, a UPS driver was out delivering packages when she was surrounded by several suspects who then took off down this road with her truck. Prince George's County Police say detectives responded to the 9000 block of Elk Avenue in Glen Arden, Maryland around 2 p.m. That address is in the newly developed West Ridge, Westphalia neighborhood. The carjacking all caught on camera, and Fox 5 got a look at the exclusive Ring doorbell footage from the man who took that video. In it, you can see the UPS driver surrounded by what looks to be several suspects. You can also hear her yell that her truck was taken at gunpoint. The neighbor who shared that video with us says he originally thought there was a couple outside fighting and was shocked to learn a carjacking happened in broad daylight.
It's very brazen in the middle of the day, knowing that most of the homes have cameras, to do that right in front of, everybody's house that has, front view cameras. So it's a little unnerving, and you hope things do get a little better. Maybe it's the climate, maybe things will improve soon, but it's unfortunate. It's fortunate that you really have to be, vigilant and watch your back.
UPS putting out a statement to Fox 5 saying they are aware of the incident and cooperating with the investigation, but no word from them on how the driver's doing. Police tell us that the victim was not injured, but no arrests have been made at this hour. The neighbor who you heard from moments ago tell us that the UPS truck was abandoned not far from where it was stolen. He does tell us he also saw it being pulled through the neighborhood shortly after the incident. Guys, back to you.
Joe Biden's America, everybody. Now, even international visitors aren't spared. A Czech news crew in San Francisco, there to cover the APEC summit, was robbed at gunpoint. Their equipment and footage worth over $18,000 stolen. This incident isn't isolated. It's a symptom of a disease plaguing our streets, a disease of lawlessness and chaos. Watch.
San Francisco police tonight are investigating the robbery of a foreign news crew covering the APEC summit. This happened just before 5 o'clock last night in the area of Broadway and Columbus. The journalists are from Czech Republic public television station. They told police that a vehicle stopped on the street and 3 armed men got out and approached them. The suspects demanded their production equipment, and the victims complied. The suspects got back into their vehicle and drove away. The news crew posted a tweet about the incident on X. A translated version says, "Thank you very much for the support we received in CT News. We'll keep shooting. We are here for the U.S. President's summit with the Chinese leader, and we'll be there, as always, for CT."
Imagine the news report they put out in the Czech Republic. Yeah, we're here covering Joe Biden welcoming the Chinese president. Oh, and by the way, we got robbed in America. Yeah, real good news coverage there. So as we ponder this crisis, we have to ask ourselves, what happens when things get even worse? What happens when economic conditions deteriorate further and millions struggle to meet basic needs? The theft we're witnessing now could be just the tip of the iceberg. So consider the looming crisis in our food supply. The U.S. beef cow herd is at its lowest since 1962, with projections indicating further shrinkage. This shortage will undoubtedly impact meat prices, putting additional strain on American families. We're entering uncharted territory, with resources becoming increasingly scarce. Yet amidst these troubling signs, many Americans remain oblivious, distracted by the trivialities and celebrity gossip. This ignorance, this willful blindness to the decay around us is as dangerous as the crimes themselves. So let's be clear. This isn't about a few isolated incidents or a handful of bad actors. It's about a systemic failure, a failure of policies and priorities that have left our streets vulnerable and our stores fortified like fortresses. The question we must confront is profound, yet simple. How did we get here? The answer lies in a complex web of social, economic, and political factors. Years of leniency towards petty crimes, defund the police, under the guise of progressive policies, have emboldened criminals. The lack of respect for law and order, fueled by anti-police rhetoric, has eroded the authority of those sworn to protect us. Add to this the economic pressures of a pandemic-hit economy, Bidenomics, you have the perfect storm for criminal activity. The pandemic, while of course no excuse for criminal behavior, has exacerbated existing inequalities, pushing some towards desperation. But there's more to the story than just economic stewardship and policy failures. It's about a cultural shift, a move away from personal responsibility and respect for law. We become a society that often excuses and sometimes even glorifies criminal behavior, portraying thieves as victims of circumstance rather than perpetrators of crime. In this context, locking up goods becomes a band-aid solution, a temporary fix to a much deeper problem. It's a sad testament to our times that locking up toothpaste is seen as a necessary response to rampant theft. But as we lock up our goods, we must ask ourselves, what else are we locking away? Are we locking away our sense of community, our trust in one another, our belief in a lawful and orderly society? These are the intangible casualties of this crime wave, the unseen wounds that cut deeper than any locked-up product. As we navigate this crisis, it's crucial to remember the role of personal responsibility and community engagement. Law enforcement can only do so much. It's up to each one of us to foster a culture that respects the law and looks out for one another. Now, the way forward, of course, is complex, requiring a multifaceted approach. Strengthening law enforcement, reforming the criminal justice system by actually locking up criminals, addressing economic disparities, and nurturing a culture of respect for the law. These are all critical pieces of the puzzle. As we conclude this segment, I leave you with a final thought. The crisis that we're facing isn't just about theft or crime. It's about the very fabric of our society. It's about deciding what kind of nation we want to be. Do we want to be a nation where locking up toothpaste is the norm? Or do we want to aspire to something better, something safer, something more just? If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's not just about staying informed, it's about being part of a community committed to truth and action in these trying times. So in closing tonight's report, it's essential to reflect on the broader implications of what we have discussed. This isn't just a story about retail thefts or locking up goods. It's a grim symbol of the unraveling of our societal fabric, a stark warning of the consequences of neglecting law and order. As a republic, our strength lies in the rule of law, in the shared understanding that freedom is tethered to our responsibility and order. Yet as we witness the escalation of crime, the locking away of everyday essentials, we're forced to confront a troubling reality. This isn't merely a phase or a passing trend. It's a wake-up call to all Americans. We must rally around our foundational principles, reaffirm our commitment to justice and community, and take decisive action to restore order. The health of our republic depends on this. So let's not wait until we have to lock up everything. Let's start by standing up for what's right, for law and order, and for the American way.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.